Hi guys, good morning. No, that's... do you see what I mean? What the fuck? Why did I say that? Forget that. Alright, just, yeah. Let's just move past that. You know, we live in a world of weaponized people. Have you ever realized that? That we live in a world, in a society of weaponized people, and I am not talking about NPCs here, I'm talking about soul beings. Because soul beings are emotional beings. We are mental beings, we are emotional beings, we are physical beings. Well, physicality is an illusion, but at the same time, you know what I mean, right? And that can be manipulated and used as a weapon. So basically they traumatize the absolute fuck out of all of us, right? We're treated like absolute shit. We're given from the very get-go, even whilst we're in the womb for a lot of us, we're programmed with the notion that we are not deserving of love, right? Meaning we're not deserving of any of the things that love naturally gives, provides, such as peace, tranquility, beauty, safety, freedom, abundance, creativity, self-awareness, self-expression, self-love, belonging, communion with other beloved soul beings. We're given very much a program to the hilt to that's so instilled in us that you are not deserving of any of that. You're not deserving of any kind of love, any kind of goodness, any kind of safety, any kind of freedom, because you're just shit. Because human nature is inherently bad. Which it isn't. It's all a projection. The evil ones, whoever they are inherently bad. Yes, they are. And they just project all that garbage onto us. We're all scapegoated to the hilt, basically. Especially those of us who were raised, and I ought not to really use that word, because who somehow survived a narcissistic home. I mean, the very notion that I was ever in the womb of the creature that called itself my mother is very difficult for me to come to terms with at this precise moment in time, because I feel like absolute fucking shit, and I feel I've been dealing yet again with so much rage is coming up, yeah, and so much hatred that I work through. I don't perpetuate that. I need to say that again, because every now and then I get comments of people who seem to enjoy wallowing in these types of energies and emotions, and they are perpetually fatalistically victim-y oriented. I'm a victim, you know, and I'm not really interested in that. And if that's what you really want to do, and if that's where you really want to live and stay, and if that's what you choose, then this is not the channel for you, because I don't believe in that at all, and I never will. I believe that we need to and can elevate and transmute and transform and alchemize this insanity, that it can be sorted out. That is what I believe. Even on the darkest days, and the last week alone has just been fucking insane, and no fucking language for it whatsoever, no language for it, no words whatsoever for any of this fucking garbagey, horrible, hellish, nightmarish pain and misery, the lack of sleep. I go to bed quite early, right, because I'm so exhausted all the time, and then after about 3 or 4 hours sleep I wake up and that's it. And then it's tidal wave after tidal wave of fucking inner stuff coming up, as well as the frequency some of you have mentioned in the comment section, and thank you for that, because that shows me that I'm not the only one experiencing that sort of stuff. There's all the weird noises and the weird sounds and the frequencies and the energies that I just go, whoa, what the fuck. There is a cleansing going on, some sort of massive purchase going on through the collective consciousness, you see, the morphic field. Because I keep getting this evil eye symbol, and I keep seeing images of the birds, you know, the morphic field. Something is happening like that, because there's a few people that I know that are sold, but they're not awake, and they are exhausted, and they look exhausted, and they look miserable as hell, and they're not awake, but they are sold, and I can tell it's written all over them, But like I said, how do you weaponize sold people, right? Well, you traumatize the fuck out of them. You tell them they're not deserving of any kind of goodness at all. You basically, you silence them as well. It's interesting because I had to get cat food. So I was in the pet shop, and the woman serving me at the till, Donna, whom I've known for some time, I could tell her eyes were all red, and I said, "Are you okay, love?" And she started crying, right? And her mother is dying, and she's not getting any sleep because she has to, apart from being at work, which she has to be at work in order to pay the rent, this and the other, there's other shit going on as well, and she's a bit self-sabotagey as well, but I mean, she's all fucked up, and it's just really horrible, the situation, right? And she's crying, and she kept apologizing and looking askance at the manager of the pet shop, who was at the other till and who was giving her dirty looks, right? And she kept apologizing to me, and I was like, Donna, please don't apologize. You're in pain, and you're going through it, and you're not getting any sleep because your mother is dying, and you're the one that has to be there 24/7, right? Because her father is with her mother during the day when she's at work, but her father, I think, is suffering from early stage dementia, so he's not doing very well. Do you see what I mean? People are in excruciating, horrible, tortuous places, and then that causes them emotional pain. It causes, you know, when you're being manipulated, when you're being gaslit, when you're being tortured and traumatized, when it's all scarcity, when it's all, you know, like somebody who lives down the road from me is really ill, and they went to see their GP, and they said, these are my symptoms. It's a plethora of symptoms that clearly denote this person is very unwell. So they were referred to the hospital, and then 3 months go by, they hear absolutely nothing, and then they receive a text message saying, your hospital referral has been rejected. No reason given. That's it. So this person is crawling up the wall with frustration because they're trying to get it sorted out. They're not getting anywhere. They're getting fucking spoken to like they're a worthless piece of shit when they go into the surgery, and they say, hold on a minute, what's going on here? This text, this, that. You know, the receptionist gives them a dirty look and makes them feel like, who the fuck are you? Shut the fuck up. Stop bothering me. Get away. Shut up. Be quiet. This is what they're doing more now than ever before. It's like evil's really going to town. There is a shitload of people who have had a certain procedure done who are sick as dogs, right? Sick as dogs. People are really, really sick. Suicides are through the fucking roof. Funeral homes are having such an influx of customers. They're not able to cope under the pressure, right? So people's funerals are, I mean, it used to be, I think, about 2 weeks. Now it's up to 3 to 4 months. It's ridiculous. It's really, really bad. And all these people that are really, really sick because they've had a certain procedure done, a lot of them are they're going to their GP, they've said this and this and this and this and this and this and this, and the GP goes, well, maybe you're just imagining it. Maybe you're just a bit selfish and maybe you're just attention seeking and there's nothing wrong with you. But when they do get a half decent GP and they do get referred to the hospital, then their referral is rejected. And instead of getting a letter, they just get a text. See, that is an example of gaslighting, of abuse, that will engender all kinds of emotions in a sold person, not just fear, but rage, hatred, a sense of frustration, but extreme, volatile, emotional stuff, right? So, and like that woman Donna, who's being put through the fucking ringer, like, you're then given, and the manager giving her dirty looks, making her feel really like, oh, cowed, and oh, I better not, oh, I mustn't cry because I'm gonna get the sack, oh my god, right? Shut up. This is how you weaponize people. This is how you weaponize people. You manipulate and gaslight them, you abuse them, you hurt them mentally, emotionally, physically, you hurt them. And I've been doing this anyway, but the last 6 years have been really off the charts, and the last kind of 6 weeks have been even more off the charts, right? It's appalling, it's really, really bad, it's horrifying. So, what I mean by weaponizing is that because people feel all of that, but then are not allowed to express it in any kind of way, or even to be in self-awareness of feeling it in the first place, because they're so bludgeoned, I can see this, but they're not even aware because they're not awake and they don't realize that they are being abused. They don't even realize they're being mistreated and brutalized and violated, abused, gaslit, manipulated, that they're being weaponized. So they end up taking it out on each other, right? So when you see a massive upsurge in bad behavior in people being unfriendly, people being unkind, people being aggressive, it's because they can't cope. People are not coping at all. People are falling apart because it's hit such a massive, loud, tortuous crescendo now of weaponized, volatile, rage, hate-filled, vengefulness. There are no words for it. The energy is, and it's no longer down there in the subconscious, it's here. Do you see what I mean? It's boom, boom, like an explosion. See, the Schumann resonance has been off the charts massively, and that is a major indicator that something big is going on. Weather patterns, like in America especially, is just like, what the actual what? Weird shit abounds as usual, right? Because evil's really going to town. Oh man, and it's and then of course you get, wow, I mean, I was somewhere else and there was this guy with a stall selling like Scottish eggs. For those who are not English, these are boiled eggs that are wrapped in meat or vegetarian stuff with like a breadcrumb, crusty, whatever. You know, I'm quite partial to them. But he sat there all sort of I don't know, glowing, conceited, sort of like, definitely NPC. And I said, how much are they then? And do you have any vegetarian ones, right? And he starts going on about waxing lyrical about the vegetarian Scottish eggs and tells me they're £5 each. I just laughed and walked away. See, that's part of it as well, because what you've got to remember, right, is that, yeah, if you're a soul traveller, and you choose to go within and to introspect and do your inner work, you can at least foster empathy and compassion and kindness, not in a codependent sense, but in a sort of healthy sense. Mind you, saying that, you're real genuine soul traveller, you will have been targeted by your fucking parents and the family that surrounded you like predators and that scapegoated you. You will have been programmed from the get-go to be super codependent, as in be really nice to everybody, give everybody your life force, gush out your fucking life force, the milk of your human kindness, you know, give it to everybody, but not yourself, because you've been weaponized as well. More so than the average souled person out there. You are super weaponized. You see? Because you were severely abused as a child and then told that that is normal and you don't have the right to feel anything about that other than I deserve this because I don't deserve to be loved. I deserve to be abused and mistreated. So that's how that is then. So then because you are not shown how to love in any way. You're not shown what love is. You don't know anything about love or the qualities of love, or what love is or how it works, what it engenders. Right? You're not familiar with that. It's like an unknown country. You've never been there. It's like a foreign country where you've never been, and the culture is completely alien to you. It's like that. All you know is abuse. Right? And you think that's normal. And to one extent or another, all souled beings, including animals and nature, are in that place. So that makes for some really, really, really traumatized people. And that guy with the Scottish egg, I mean, he was an NPC, but you do get people for whom the trauma has, rather than make them more kind, more codependent, as in if I befriend the enemy, perhaps they won't hurt me. That's kind of the main reason for codependence. That if you're really, really good and let everybody feed off you, let all the feeders and all the parasites feed off you, perhaps finally you'll know what love is, and finally you'll be able to be okay and it will be alright and whatnot. But they won't, because you were programmed to do exactly that, to be a fucking battery and keep all this fucking shit going and feed the feeders and the parasites. And there are souled people that are parasites, because guys, like he says, you know, Don Juan, in Carlos Castaneda's The Teachings of Don Juan, it gave us its minds. It is a parasite, and we are parasitical. We have been weaponized. That is what it is. Right? It's like there are people that have become unkind, uncouth, that are horribly selfish, that are takers and users and abusers because of trauma. They are sold, but they've learned to behave really, really badly. It's like, and I don't know, a neighbour of mine, she used to be half-ish okay, and then her husband met this other woman, got her pregnant, dumped her, moved up to Scotland and just left her with the kids, right? So ever since then she's gone straight downhill. And now she's gone full psychotic, and I can hear her in the morning when she has to take her children to school, verbally abusing them. She's got a horde of animals in there, cats, dogs, rabbits, that I don't think she's looking after properly at all. She verbally abuses the dog, screaming, shouting, swearing down her phone. It's just gone really, really bad, right? And posting stuff on Facebook saying something about borderline personality disorder people love too much and care too much, and it's all this type of garbage. And it's like, no, that's not what it is. See, that's woke as fuck. That is what they've done. They've weaponized people because they make it look like, well, that behavior isn't bad, that behavior isn't evil, or your narcissist is not demonic, right? No, it's a spectrum. They're on the spectrum. They've got borderline personality disorder, they've got narcissistic personality disorder. It's a disorder. Take your pills, right? Carry on being evil, do bad things, brutalize your children, weaponize them as well. Cool, yeah, right? Oh no, you're not, what you're doing isn't evil. No, you're ill, you're not well, so carry on behaving that way, because we're all going to enable that, right? That whole woke agenda, it's all about enabling evil. That's it. Oh, it isn't evil, it's a disorder. Yeah. It's not demonic. No, it's a disorder. Right? Cluster B. Yeah. ABC. CIA. FBI. It's just all a fucking load of bullshit, people. This is how evil works. This is a part of what it does. Its modus operandi. It weaponizes people. It has weaponized you and it has weaponized me. But because we are waking up more and more and more and we're seeing it, and because we were probably doormat people, codependent people, super sensitive, super souls, right? Soul travelers, we came in and we're different. We're not quite the same. We're different. I'm not saying we're better or more valuable. I'm not saying that at all. I don't believe that. But we are somehow different. Maybe we have more experience. Maybe we have less experience. I don't know. But we chose the path of compassion, of empathy. We somehow, rather than become callous, cold, selfish, aggressive, mean, whatever, rather than become a feeder and a parasite and to add even more hurt to the equation, we learned to be codependent. We thought that by, being kind and accepting and tolerant and caring and this and that we would somehow make things better. It hasn't turned out that way. It wouldn't turn out that way. Because we've been unknowingly, unbeknownst to ourselves, we were made to be batteries to this insanity. And an immensely important part of this journey for your soul traveler is to stop the codependency. It has to end. We were deprived of the very stuff of life, which is love. So we had no knowing of it. And yet, somehow, we have walked through this shadow realm, somehow, on a soul level, knowing about love. Because if love does not exist, you wouldn't even have an inkling, a notion of it. And what love is and what it gives you. What are the qualities of love, you see? That's it, isn't it? Abundance, beauty, creativity, peace, belonging, communion, all kinds of beautiful qualities that belong in that particular country called love. And because we were deprived of that, and yet somehow intrinsically it was always a part of us, and so we have walked through this shadow realm being batteries because of our inherent superpower, our ability to love regardless. And yeah, it's all slanted and enchanted when you're not awake. But when you awaken, you realize, right, I need to give this to myself. I need to know and learn how to say, right, I feel like being really codependent and gushing out my life force and being overly grateful to people when they're nice to me, when in fact they're just doing their fucking job, right? You're meant to be courteous. I don't owe you a massive tidal wave of gratitude because you're being nice to me, because you're just doing your fucking job. But because you live in a world wherein most people that you deal with now, in terms of reception desk workers, are uncouth, unfriendly, surly, disagreeable motherfuckers, that when you deal with one who's actually really warm and really kind, you're pathetically grateful, right? It's like you need to call, I don't know, your insurance agent because your house is fucking burned down and you need to work out how you're going to sort this shit out, and you kept online for fuck knows however. But then you speak to somebody who's really, really nice and who's helpful. You sit there, oh God, and you start to cry because somebody's kind to you. And I'm sure some of you have been in that place where because you were treated with kindness, all of a sudden the tears started flowing. Because for so very, very long you've been frozen in this, I'm in a terrible, traumatized, complex PTSD state, but I'm not allowed to talk about it. I'm not allowed to express it. I'm not allowed to even acknowledge that, see that, know that, feel that, be there, love myself. I don't even know how to love myself. What is love? Love is what you've been giving to all these other, mostly undeserving people. Some were deserving, without any doubt, but most of them weren't at all. Right? And have you not noticed how, they suck it all up? Give me your attention, give me your compassion, give me your, listen to me, go on and on and on and on and on about myself and all my problems. And when you stop and think about it, all their problems don't even begin to compare to the fucking incredible, nasty, horrible shit that you're going through every fucking day. Yet there you are, listening to all their fucking bullshit. Do you see what I mean? That's codependency. That's self-betrayal and self-abandonment and self-rejection. That is not loving yourself. Because that shit, that energy needs to be taken away from there and turned towards self. It's a journey to learn how to love yourself, how to apply compassion to yourself, empathy to yourself, patience, kindness to yourself, how to listen to yourself, how to feel be with yourself, to love yourself, because you have no business giving all your life and all your care and goodness to those other people when you're there starving, right? But this is what it is, weaponized people. And the most powerful weaponized being is a soul traveler when they are not yet awake and doing no inner work, because you're a fountain of incredible goodness, but you're also incredibly traumatized, and you're probably not really very aware of that. So you feel like you need to somehow create that feeling of safety, of belonging, that feeling of everything is going to be okay, and yes, I am loved, and I am safe by befriending the enemy, by being nice to everybody, by accepting treatment that is so evil and so wrong and so twisted and unacceptable in every imaginable way. Like, wow. I mean, yeah, 99% of the time we are treated like absolute shit by this evil beast system, right? You're sick as a dog, you're referred to the hospital, and they send you a text saying, nah, fuck you. That is evil, man. we're used to being with our back against the wall. We're used to it, but it's worse now than it's ever been before, and it's bringing up all that trauma. It's bringing it all up, and it's like flowing through the morphic field, which is the consciousness, right? All the collective soul consciousness is woof, woof, woof. I can see people. Not 100% of the time, but very often I can look at people and I can tell you whether somebody is sold or not. NPCs are happy, right? Most of them now are, a lot of them are negatively charged, so you get that whole Agent Smith thing, and they're nasty. But they're really just there to reinforce mundane reality. They are part of the weaponizing process by pretending that everything is great and everything is fine, and you don't have the right to say anything, and you don't have the right to complain, and you don't have the right to say this is wrong and that was wrong and that you're not going to put up with that. It's like you know, when you go to the bank now, or you go to anywhere you fucking go where you're dealing with these trolley dolly people, these receptionist people, you know, it's like great big placards saying abusive language will not be tolerated, abusive behavior will not be tolerated, you will be asked to leave. But doesn't that work both ways? Because the receptionists, all these people that you get on various reception desks or on the phone, whatever, are incredibly abusive. They may not use swear words at you, but their attitude is really, really, really bad. And some of the time that is because they are weaponized people. They are sold, but they are dealing with compassion fatigue. People that work within the NHS, which is the healthcare system in this country, I shouldn't call it that, I should call it death care, because that's really what it is. People that work within that, who are sold and are basically good people, you get to a point where you can't take anymore. You literally can't take anymore. Even if you're a soul traveler, you get to a point where it's like, I have nothing left to give. I'm running on empty. Ain't nothing left for me to give. You know? I know, because I can feel it. I see it, I feel it, I know. You see? It's appalling, utterly horrifying. People are having to choose whether to feed their dogs, their cats, or themselves, whether to turn the heating on or whether to eat. And people are very unwell, physically very unwell, and mentally very unwell. Yeah. You know? See, it seems to me that the dark side is desperate for food, Lush, right? Desperate. So it's coming on really, really strong now. Whew, wow. And its minions, obviously. This is what it is. Because a lot of these people, like, aren't sold. They are NPCs. And they may have been perfectly okay a couple of years ago, but all of a sudden it's that whole Agent Smith thing, and they're horrible and they're nasty and they're abusive. They want to elicit all that dark energy they want to feed, you see. But yeah, we live in a world of weaponized people and animals too, to an extent, right? When you abuse an animal, often enough, yeah, like a dog that you abuse, like these poor animals that they chain up in yards, you know, like this, you know, whatever, like these sort of places where they stack cars that are no longer on the road and whatnot, and they put guard dogs, you know, and they treat them like shit. And these dogs are violent and vicious and they want to bite, but they're not inherently bad, not at all. They've just been mistreated, and they're weaponized, aren't they? Right? Guard dogs. That's another really good example where an innocent animal that was once a beautiful little puppy has been weaponized, so that people are scared of them because they're gonna bite you, they're gonna rip your fucking leg off. Yeah? So they're being weaponized. Same thing happens to people. Not to mention anything about the NPCs, they are by their very nature a weapon because they are the Matrix, and it's a hive thing. And it's like that Scottish egg guy. He wanted me to be a totally moronic, gormless idiot and buy several of his Scottish eggs for £5 a piece, right? Because that would have been a kind of flush thing. Because it's like, well, how stupid you are. Because he shouldn't have been charging more than maybe £3 to £3.50 for them, right? Had I bought them, I would have been stupid, and that would have been a kind of louche interaction. You see what I mean? Every time you act unconsciously and go along with abuse and allow yourself to be abused, whether that's in the micro or the macro and everything in between, you are feeding the Matrix. That is louche harvesting. That's self-abandonment, self-betrayal. But you're used to that, you see, and the only way to get that out of your system is by layer and layer and layer, working through it, doing your inner work, right? Which is why I do not have time anymore for people who just want to wallow in fatalism and victimhood, believing that that's all there is. Because let me tell you, and I know I do, because I go through this all the time myself. It's very, very clever. It will have you think that there is only evil. But when you know what evil is, then you need to go out into nature and you need to look at all the beautiful birds. I saw a kingfisher, the iridescent blue is incredible, right? Jays, beautiful seagulls, my beautiful little boy Piker, my best friend Stephen, who's a really good person, right? Myself, I'm a bloody good person. I am, you know, a really genuine, decent fucking soul. Beautiful trees, beautiful. There is goodness in this world, and evil hates everything that is good and pure and true. It absolutely fucking does. And if it had all the power, it would destroy it, all of it. It's really going to town. It's desperate for food because the collective soul consciousness increasingly is waking up. Its acquiescence level is going away, it's disappearing, it's diminishing, right? It's frightened. That's what it is. So when you go out and about, I always say this, right? Forgiveness is powerful medicine. Really is, big time. But before you can get to that, you've got to get to grips and to terms, if that's the right terminology for it, the fact that you've been weaponized, you've been severely trauma-based mind controlled, and you need to work through all those feelings of hatred, extreme hate, when they're abusing you and you're back against the wall, you're trying to get your needs met and they just won't yield, yeah? Because that's how it is now. That's going to bring all that shit up. So all these new KG fucking bullshitty notions of, oh, you know, gratitude, you know, it's like all this kind of Joe Dispenza type of, you know, just fucking, they don't want to, the new age bliss junkies, right, basically, just don't do it, don't do it, don't go there, don't do the law of attraction, it's bullshit, it's a psyop. It does not want you to introspect, it doesn't want you accessing all that hatred and all that rage and all that fear and all that grief and all these other energies that I have been sitting there, almost like inside your being, that are making you sick, that are making you feel utterly depressed and suicidal, that are robbing you of sleep, you know, of all that all the shit that is causing all the problems because you've been weaponized, that needs to be transmuted and alchemized and healed. And so we have to introspect, we have to go within, there is no other way. We are guided by the light, love, and it is the most difficult thing, because you think to yourself, why the fuck then did it get like this? I mean, I was lying awake all night pretty much pondering that and feeling extreme rage and swearing and screaming inside my head and just getting up and screaming into a cushion and back to bed and more fucking... My God, it's... wow. And I'm utterly exhausted. I am so fucking tired. I have two choices. I can choose fatalism, victimhood, and to believe that evil always wins. And no, I don't see that. That is not what I see. That is not what I feel. But there is a part of me that feels that. A little baby, perhaps still in the womb, when there's all kinds of shit going on. Because when you're in the womb, everything that happens, everything that your mother is thinking and feeling and doing, and everything that is happening around your mother heavily impacts you. You know? When you're gestating in the womb, all kinds of shit happens to you then. That's where it all begins. It's appalling, people. You know? I don't have all the answers, you know, not at all. Not at all. But I've just got to make my choices and do what I do for my own self-love. And to believe in the power of evil and to stew and wallow in defeatism and rage and hate is never going to serve me. I've done it. I did it for years. It's bad news, it's toxic, and it makes you sick, and it isn't the truth. Our soul, you know, we went on a journey, and I remember in my life even good times, like when I went traveling in Morocco, and you know, I had good experiences that were meaningful, that resonate still within my being. It used to have merit, duality, it's a stupid word, it did. But this is the end of that. It's kind of like very Armageddon-y feeling now. The apocalypse, the end game. Right? It's no longer duality, it's now evil and light. And never before have we seen the difference and felt the difference as clearly as we do now. And it's time to make a choice. Which do you choose? Do you choose to go along with the dark side, to believe that there is nothing else, it's all evil? Or do you see the light and choose to align yourself with that and allow it to live within you again, to realize that you are of that, you are of love, you are love. Do you see what I mean? You are. How can you not be deserving of what you intrinsically are and are of? That's insane. It's like you're not entitled to your fingers, or you're not entitled to your nose, or you're not entitled to, I don't know, whatever. That's just fucking bullshit. It's a lie. You know, but I know, oh man, the PSYOP, the trauma-based mind control, it just has us all totally confused and in chaos more now than ever before. It's appalling. So, and yeah, the NPCs, they muddy the water, they make it very, very complicated because they're there to reinforce mundane reality. Shut up, be quiet, don't cry. How dare you? How dare you? You know, they want everybody to be tightly locked up, frozen within themselves, not even having any awareness of their inner state whatsoever, and just mindlessly taking it out on others, projecting their inner garbage out on others. Project, project, project. It gave us its mind. It projects its filth onto us. That is what it does. It's scapegoating. That is what it does. Evil cannot face itself. Remember that. I've said it. I've told you about this in many of my videos. It is the truth. It cannot face itself. It can't. It has to justify its existence. Right? Scapegoating. Weaponizing. That is what it does, people. But it won't win. We won't let it, because we are love. We are love. We are of love. And I don't know exactly why did it get this bad. But I do know this. If we carry on believing that evil has all the power and that it's all a done deal and that we stay with that, we help it to do exactly that. We choose to empower it. We give it its power. Do you see how that feeds it? It feeds the beast. Do not do it. Go within. Can you feel your light? Start to wonder, start to think, even just in your mind, about love. What is love? What are the qualities of love? Integrity, patience, courage, endurance, wisdom. I remember waking up years ago when I first woke up. Before that, I didn't have a fucking clue. I was completely weaponized, codependent. Oh my god, it was fucking terrible. Heroin addictions, you name it. It's terrible. And then I was sat there on the sofa and I was watching television, as you do, and something happened. It was like my whole world was turned upside down. I was looking at an ad on the television, and it was like, the ad was, I could just see very clearly how it was mockery and how it was evil. And the television went further away and became a tiny dot, way, way off in the distance. And at the same time, it came very, very close and it was right in my face. I can't explain it, because it was completely non-ordinary, right? And boom, I broke open like a pressure cooker. Boom, something in me broke open, and I started to awaken more and more and more and more and more and more. And then maybe, I don't know, about 5-6 years later, I began to really introspect. Something guided me. I had a massive breakdown. Really scary, terrible, scary shit happened, and it turned me inward. And you could say, well, see, there you go, bad things happen, it means there is no light. Yeah, it was really bad. I had a really bad breakdown. I nearly ended up dead. But it turned me inward, right? And when I look at myself now and I think about where I'm at, and I think about how utterly codependent I used to be, and how there is still a bit of codependency here and there, but I'm a shitload better at not letting these feeders feed off me. I'm aware, I see, I've gained great wisdom, and my love is strong within me, but it isn't there to be squandered. It's there for a purpose. It's to be flowed purposefully, right, for myself and in my onward awakening journey. Because you've got to remember, by doing your inner work and rewilding yourself and becoming free again, you serve the soul collective, because it is like the morphic field. You know that 100 monkey thing? If you can do it, self-liberate and heal, it becomes possible for the whole soul collective to do that. Do you get what I mean? Dominoes, people. Everything is connected. That is very important. That is where it's at. Okay? Healing. What we do here are sacred healing work with such incredible courage and tenacity and endurance. I mean, the strength that it takes. It's love that gives us that. It's love that has enabled us to do that. And yes, it is now at a point where we don't even have words anymore for how we feel and what's going on. It literally, it renders you speechless. The horror of it is like, what the actual fuck? And that is a spanner. You think to yourself, what the fuck? Why? How? But I do feel it's endgame stuff. I really, really do. And I've done that. I've felt that way for a while, but, you know, and it's always that Mercury retrograde. And I don't believe in the planets, right? I really don't, because I'm a flat earther. Well, I'm not too sure that I believe in the flat earth, the dome and all that either, you know, because I think there's psyops within psyops, within psyops, within psyops, right? They muddy the waters to make it seem deep. But, excusez-moi, but we are not living on a spinning ball floating through a vast emptiness. That is an absolute load of bullshit, but that engenders that whole sense of cold isolation. I'm all alone in hell forever, because that's what they want you to feel. That's part of the weaponization, you see. So I reckon that the truth is probably beyond our capacity to understand at present. That is what I reckon. Anyway, I think I'll call it a day there, because I'm really, really tired, you know. And when I thought about doing a video this morning, I thought, no, man, that can't be right. That can't be right. But I've done it. So I'll post this, and please click the like button, all right? It's important, because I really do feel that my channel deserves your support. If you listen to my videos and you get something out of my videos and they are a comfort to you, then please give something back. Press the like button and leave a comment. You know, let me know that my videos are a comfort to you and that they are a support to you, because it helps me as well. It helps me to know that I'm not alone. It helps me to feel comforted. You know what I mean? So, because I give of myself to you, so, you know, I want to get a little bit back. And that is not parasitical, that is the way of love. Yeah? Whereas in this world, you give and give and give, and you get fuck all back, you get nothing back. They just take all that compassion and that empathy and that, oh, you poor thing, and yeah, thank you. But they don't even say, how are you, or what's going on for you. They don't care, they don't give a shit, right? Now, love's way is reciprocative. So if you benefit from my videos, you leave a comment and you express that. Simple, really. So, and I mean, if you don't feel in any way capable of doing that because you're literally on your fucking knees begging for mercy, then of course I would completely understand. But, you know, just click the like button. All my love to all of you. Bless you. Thank you for being here. Bear with it. Alright? Bear with it, my loved ones. Cheek, cheek.